Welcome in. You are listening to Just an Average Podcast with your hosts, Jake and Casey. Well, this is the much anticipated movie podcast, joined by the one and the only Brad Shawgo. Brad, thanks for joining us for this podcast today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Brad, actually, you were part of the original, when we first started the podcast, a couple of years back? You were part of the original podcast, too.
Yeah, I was on a few shows with you back in May of 23. We did a fast food draft, Adam Sandler bracket.
Yep. Those are great.
Shrek
the
basketball
Shrek
team draft.
That was great too. Yeah, there was a lot of really good videos.
I forgot about doing that one.
Those were a blast. But today's all about movies. We had to have you on for this one. Obviously, we've got an awesome show today. We've got our favorite childhood movies. We've got cinematic experiences, both good and bad. Summer blockbuster buzz, and then Brad, you get to do a little game at the end. We're going to test your knowledge on some of these release dates of movies that came out. I'm not going to give you any dates. I'm not going to give you any kind of hint of when these things came out. So,
okay, you can make that really hard if you wanted to.
I see, and that's the thing. I don't know if I made it hard or not. I really don't. I don't know if I
thought he made it hard for Bamwart when we did.
Yeah, and
that podcast for him, and Bamwart crushed it.
Bamwart crushed it. So I feel like you're going to go through these and it'll be really easy, and you're going to be, this might just be a breeze for you. I don't know. I will tell you that they are, like, if I say the movies, people that are listening should know the movies. Like, they're not well-known movies. I would say they're kind of well-known movies, but people will be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that movie before. So I think you're going to be all right.
Well, look forward to it.
Brad goes, I've been studying for the past 2 weeks. So
yeah.
Well, I don't think we waste any time. I know Brad's full of knowledge when it comes to movies, so let's go ahead and hop into segment 1 here. This is real nostalgia, so our favorite childhood movies. And Brad, since you're the guest, we'll go ahead and let you start off with your favorite childhood movie.
Oh, I just jotted down several. I mean, we grew up with a lot of animated Disney movies, so we watched them a lot. All of them that came up to that point. Some of the kind of lesser known ones that we watched. Like I don't know if you guys, it's before your time, but the Great Mouse Detective, Oliver and Company. Those were some of the two big Disney ones we watched. We went. I turned 5 years old in 1994 when The Lion King came out. We watched it. We went and watched it 3 times in theaters, so we watched that a lot. A couple ones that you guys may have never heard of. There was a movie that came out in the 92, 93, maybe 94. Baby's Day Out. You ever heard of that movie? Baby's Gets Lost. I think New York City. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember the city for sure. I haven't seen it for years, maybe 25 years. We watched that movie all the time. There was a series called Look Who's Talking. Bruce Willis played the voice of a baby. And then John Travolta, Christy Alley, R.I.P., was the parents. And then they made Look Who's Talking 2. We watched those movies all the time where Roseanne Barr played the sister to the baby, so you had talking babies. Then they made Look Who's Talking Now, where they had 2 dogs come into it, and they were talking too. So you had the babies talking, you had the dogs talking. We loved those movies. Disney movie, live action came out. Blank Check was a big one.
Oh my goodness, great movie.
Loved
great movie. Yeah, that's
of course. Go ahead.
The Blank Check. No, that's underrated movie. I remember watching that all the time. Casey, have you seen that at all? Blank Check.
I don't think so.
Watch it if you get a chance to. It's great. You were getting ready to say something else, Brad. What else you got? Yeah,
then a couple other ones. I mean, we watched a big one was Brave Little Toaster. We watched that a lot. Do I think it's very good? No, I think it's pretty dry, but we've had it on a lot. And of course, Fern Gully, which, was always pretty good.
I've only heard of a couple of the ones that you said. Obviously, Blank Check, Look Who's Talking. Those are the 2 that I have watched personally, but the other ones I've only heard of. Some I haven't heard of at all. So you're really digging deep in the bag here. I mean, obviously, you got a few years on us, so you're watching things that were probably before our time, just slightly. But Casey,
probably a lot of stuff from the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. Casey, favorite childhood memories that you have?
I got a couple of movies here. Not really a whole lot. I'm not going to go too into depth with some of these movies, but So the one that really sticks out to me is Shrek. The first Shrek that came out when we were probably what 5, 6, something like that.
May 18th, 2001.
Yeah, I was 6 then. 6.
Yeah.
So Shrek, only really like the first one. Don't really like any of the other ones, to be completely honest. Another one, Toy Story was another one. Real big fan of Toy Story when it came out. And then one of my all-time favorite movies, it actually came out in the 90s. That's a really early 90s movie, Toy Soldiers. Love that movie.
Great movie. I love that movie too. Soldiers Come to Life.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Toy Soldiers.
That is a good one.
That's just my top 3.
All right. I might be a little different here. My personal favorite movie, especially growing up, even childhood movie, this was the first movie I think that I have recollection of watching, along with the movie like Babe, like just because these are all the movies my grandparents had on VHS. So like there was that, but then Jurassic Park, 1993 Jurassic Park, my grandparents had it on VHS, and I think I watched that movie every single day I went over to their house. I mean, I watched that thing daily, and even to this day, it's still my favorite movie. I can honestly say back then, I think it was just the fact that it's dinosaurs. I mean, at the time I was probably 5, 6 years old. I mean, and the movie came out in 1993, but what kid doesn't like dinosaurs? Loved watching it. I even think in kindergarten, they asked what I want to be when I grew up, and it was an archaeologist. So I was that into it. But I think rewatching it though, like now that I'm, in my late 20s, just the CGI and the animatronics in that movie, I feel like, we kind of took that for, I mean, I don't know. I can't personally say that, but people that were in their, late teens, early 20s, 30s watching that movie probably took it for granted, because the CGI in 1993 when that movie came out, you don't see CGI that good now in 2025. So that's one movie that really stuck out to me. And then obviously, we already brought up the Shreks. Shrek, just a classic movie, really good movie. But I also liked Beethoven. I watched all the Beethoven movies growing up, and for some reason I was just...
Those were good.
I just liked watching all the Beethoven movies. So those are my 3 there. Really not going too much into depth on that, but
one that I forgot to mention is Homeward Bound.
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch that movie, Homeward Bound. That's a good one. We're talking about like VHS movies, and that's one that I watched all the time. Mm-hmm. It was on a VHS tape and watched it all the time. Really good. Where the animals, like, they don't talk, but they like have like a voiceover of them and stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any rewatch stories of watching movies now that you watch as a kid? Kind of any new perspectives on any of the movies you watched when you were a kid? Either of you? This could be open up to either of you.
Pretty much all of them, especially the jokes in like Shrek and Toy Story, and
the adult humor in those.
The adult humor in those that you never understood when you were a kid. Those are probably big ones for me.
Yeah, for sure. Brad, you got any rewatch?
Yeah, like you mentioned Shrek. Yeah, it's definitely... Shrek's probably better now than it was when you first saw it, because of all the adult humor and stuff in it. It's good. But yeah, I rewatched the Goofy movie a few weeks ago, about a month ago.
Yeah.
You remember how good these movies were, and then sometimes you kind of rewatch them, and it's like, well, it's certain things you remember, and it just kind of you like it for the nostalgic purposes. But I mean, it's kind of sad, because most movies you watch, you liked as kids, you watch them now, it's not the same, which is a given. But
Liam and I actually just watched the Goofy movie. I think it was about a month ago as well, and he loved it. He's a big Mickey Mouse guy, so he loved that movie. And Brad, I know I brought this up, and before I forget, Pagemaster. Did you ever end up watching Pagemaster? That is with Macaulay Culkin. He starts out like he basically it goes from like an actual, live action, whatever, him as a kid going into a library, and basically the murals start to melt and everything turns into different colors, and it turns into a cartoon essentially. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not. You have seen it?
No, well, I would have watched it a long time ago, but I don't remember much about it. And I know we talked about it, but no, it's probably been at least, and I couldn't tell you when that movie came out, but it's probably been at least close to 30 years since I've seen
94.
that.
I think it was 94. It? Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of really good movies. I mean, we could sit here and talk all day about all these movies that came out and just the rewatches, but one last movie I do want to bring up because I just watched both of them here at school. School's getting towards the end is The Incredibles. The Incredibles 1 and 2. I think every single time I watch those, they just keep getting better. I mean, they're such good movies, and they came out. It's crazy. All these movies, like, that movie's not that old. These movies came out 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So it's crazy. But so let's go ahead and transition.
The Incredibles is a great movie.
It is. It's a really good movie, and I feel like it's, all these kids now, they want to watch these movies that come out and like your Lucas and all these other movies that come out. They're not bad, but I mean, Brad, you can speak on this. All these animated movies that come out here within the last 5 years, they're not bad, but I don't think they compare to the movies that came out, back in the early 2000s, 1990s.
Yeah, some of them aren't bad. Most of them low-key suck. But when you compare them to these movies from the Pixar, when these movies were coming out in the 90s and even the 2000s, the Disney animated, they had their big run in the 90s. And then Pixar, it started mid-90s, but then it had a big run with like Finding Nemo, The Incredibles. Cars is a lot better than it gets credit for.
Cars.
Monsters Inc. is a great movie. Ratatouille, Up, WALL-E's pretty good.
Yeah.
So they don't hold a candle to some of those movies. I mean, just on top of my head, some of the better animated movies that I've seen. Wild Robot's pretty good.
Onward. Loved Onward. I think
a lot of these movies is just the fact of having all these really good actors play these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Chris Pratt is a huge one of those actors that plays. I swear he's in every animated movie as some kind of voice. But
he is.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, just doesn't compare to the movies that came out in the 2000s. Some of these kids now are kind of missing out a little bit. But we'll go ahead, and this is a perfect segue into the next topic here, and that is cinematic experiences. So let's start off with our most memorable, or maybe our first cinematic experience. Brad, I'm going to go ahead and let you start again because I know that you've probably got some good ones.
Well, not really. I'll be honest with you. I don't really have some good ones.
Wow.
Nothing that stands out extravagant or anything. I just remember going to the movie. When you're a kid and you watch movies, watching a movie, for me anyway, was even in a theater or at home, wherever it may be, watching a movie was a novelty, kind of. Because you didn't do it all the time, and it was just kind of a special thing. You still had other stuff you did, watch TV shows, things like that.
Yeah.
And you do now. But so for me anyway, it was kind of a novelty, even up till I was 18, 20 years old. But so I remember when you're a kid, you watch all these cartoons, animated movies, things like that. So when you got to go to the theater and watch these real movies, you were just blown away. It didn't matter the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't matter how good it was. I remember going to watch Father of the Bride Part 2 with the family.
Yeah.
Just thought it was just the best picture I've ever seen in my life. And then same year, 95, Nutty Professor. Oh,
that's a good movie.
I stand by that movie. Eddie Murphy should have probably been Oscar nominated for that movie.
Yeah.
I think that's
he played like 15. He played like 15 different people in that movie.
Yeah. That one in the
around
sequel,
the Nutty Professor, when he's around the table, the dinner table, and he's playing like 15 different people. That's so good.
Yeah.
When he sits around that table and does all
that. In those, yeah. But just things like that. I know it's not big. I will say this. We've been talking Toy Story earlier and Pixar movies. I remember sitting in a movie theater, and back then, this is the mid 90s, so we didn't have internet. There wasn't.
Yeah.
The only way you really saw, now you don't have to go to a movie theater to watch a trailer. I mean, trailers in a movie theater are pointless now. Yeah. So you can pull it up when it comes out. But back then, that's how you found out about movies. So when you're sitting in a theater and you're 5 years old and you're looking at a screen, probably getting ready to watch Pocahontas, and then this clip comes on of this animated movie. You can tell right away that it's totally different. So I'm talking Toy Story, computer generated. It's the first ever full-length computer animated film. So my head should have exploded because you're sitting there watching. It's like, so just blown away by just stuff like that.
I'm really glad you bring that up. I think social media now, like social media in general, you can almost watch a full movie based on like leaked clips, all the trailers that come out, and there's really no surprise going into the theater. And I am terrible at that because, we're going to get into some of the blockbuster movies coming out, but when it comes to a movie that I want to watch, I am all about like, ooh, let's find a clip, let's try to watch all the trailers. So when I go there, I'm like, oh, I've seen this. So really, there's no surprise going to the movies. I can only imagine what it was like. And I mean, I do remember going there when I was younger, not having a cell phone, not really being on social media at all, and going and watching these. And like you said, having that moment of like, oh my gosh, I can't, like getting chills almost because you're so excited for a movie you had no idea that was going to come out. It's going to be coming out in theaters. So that's a really good point you brought up there. Any other cinematic firsts that you want to hit on before we go to Casey?
I don't think so. No first. That's probably nothing that really comes to mind. Those are kind of the moments I remember. I know it's nothing special, but those are kind of back when I first started going to the movie theater. Just kind of some of the memories I have.
All right, Casey, what do we got?
I got two that really stick out to me, and we talked about one of these movies already, and it is The Incredibles when it came out.
Yeah.
And seeing that in theaters, that was one of the first animated movies that I saw. I think that might have been the first animated movie that I saw in theaters because I watched Shrek and Toy Story on like VHS and I didn't watch it in theaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But The Incredibles, I watched it like when it first came out and I went to the theaters and watched it. And I was like sitting there, like what Brad said, I'm like just sitting, I don't even think I touched my popcorn the whole time. I think I was just sitting there with my mouth open, watching it the whole time. And it was just so good. And then when we were in junior high, we went and watched the Avatar movie, the first Avatar movie that came out. And that was just in the soundtrack and just how realistic it looked at the time. Because it won a lot of awards, Brad.
The Incredibles?
No. Avatar.
Oh, Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nominated for a lot of awards. Yeah, it didn't, but yeah, basically.
But it's like, isn't it one of the most like? Isn't it like one of the
highest
grossing?
It's up there, I think.
Movies.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know. I don't think the second one passed it. It came close, and Avengers Endgame might have passed it, but I'm not sure if it did or not.
Yeah, but those two stick out with me a lot. Being in theaters and watching and just being like. Just staring at the screen the whole time. And I really wasn't that much into Avatar, but just the soundtrack was really good. And just the way that everything was just coming together and just, I think just the scenery of all of it was just kind of getting me kind of attached to the movie more than the storyline and the way it was. But just, I would say those two.
Yeah. There's a lot of new technology used to, at the time, new technology to make that. And then that's why Avatar 2 didn't come out for another 13 years because he wanted to wait till the technology caught up so he could make it even better than the first one.
Really quick, Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time, followed by Avengers Endgame, and then Avatar The Way of the Water is in the third spot there. So, two Avatar movies in the top 3 is not bad at all. All right, I'm going to be kind of boring here with mine.
Titanic's probably 4, right?
Titanic, you're correct. And then that's Star Wars The Force Awakens is 5.
Okay. So you got James Cameron, who made the Avatar movies and Titanic. He's got 3 of the top 4 movies of all time.
He's great. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a good movie. That's for sure. I'm going to be kind of boring here. The very first movie I ever seen in theaters, this was at the old Macomb movie theater. Brad, when did that shut down? Do you remember?
Well,
didn't it shut down
and then it briefly opened again? Probably like 2010, 2011.
Okay, so I seen it when it was still well on its way. It was 2001. This was JP3. Very first movie I ever seen in theaters was Jurassic Park 3. Like I said, we just talked about. Yeah, it's kind of weird as a 6-year-old going to watch JP3 in theaters, but you know, just because that was a movie that I'd watched up to that point so much, I'm like, oh, I've got to go see this movie in theaters. Like, got to go see it. Went and seen it. Great experience. Just the dinosaurs. It was honestly a little bit more scary than the first two, but me being 6 years old, I think I wanted to sit in the front row too. Very first movie, bad choice. Don't sit in the front row. Learn from my mistake.
Did you wear the 3D glasses?
No, I did not, but I did sit like this the whole entire movie watching it. I think I had a smile on my face the whole entire time. I loved it. I loved it. Like, I remember I got that movie. I watched it in theaters, and then that Christmas got the movie. I don't remember if it was VHS or DVD, but got the movie, and I got, like, the Rock'em Sock'em robots. I actually had the Rock'em Sock'em T-Rex and Spinosaurus that you could fight back and forth. So on Christmas, playing the Rock'em Sock'em, watching JP3 in the background. One of the most memorable Christmases, honestly. And then 2007, Transformers. You talk about a cinematic experience. Just great. Like, that is one movie that I remember going and watching. Like, this is before I had all the social media, and just seeing all this stuff. It was kind of blew me away a little bit. It was awesome. So those are my top two.
Another movie that I really enjoyed, like, recently. I actually really enjoyed watching. We went and took Leo to watch the new Sonic movie, and that was good. That was good. The animation was really good. The acting was really good, and another one that was good too that we took him to see was the Transformer movie,
the new one,
the new Transformer movie that came
with
out.
like Hemsworth,
the animated one, the animated one,
like Hemsworth and stuff like that. I don't know how
those were both really good. I was surprised, but I really enjoyed actually watching them.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That new Transformers that helps me a little bit, because I didn't have high hopes for that at all, but that kind of gives me some hope.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
All right, well, now it's time for a disaster reel. So what about our worst cinematic experiences? I have one that definitely sticks out, but Brad, I see a smile coming up across your face here. You might have more than one.
No, here's the thing about me going to the movies. In my 20s, I probably went to 400 plus movies in theaters. I don't think it was 500, but it might have been close to 450. But I went all the time, and probably more than half the time I went by myself in the afternoon when I was like the only one in the theater. I've had a couple, and you might touch on one of these, Jacob, that we went together. I've had a couple movies, quit on me, or quit while they were playing. Not just me. There's other people watching.
Yep.
And those are kind of the funnest. And I'll wait to touch on one of them because you may touch on it. But
I'm actually not. But it was in my mentions.
Okay, well, and then I'll talk. Well, Pop Star.
Yeah. Okay, not the one I was going to talk about, but yeah.
Okay, well then I'm excited to hear what you got to say. But now correct me if I'm wrong. That movie shut down for a second, didn't it?
it Pop Star shut down. So we're going to go quick backstory. We went to this place, and this place is no longer in business, but
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Missouri. We went there, watched. Was it what was it? Was it an AMC or whatever?
I don't know if it was a chain or not. If it was, it wasn't like around here.
Yeah. But anyway, watching the movie, it went out. We're sitting in there for probably what feels like 10 minutes is probably 5 minutes. I get up, I go down. I'm like, hey, the movie's not playing. Someone else comes up. Hey, our movie's not playing. So I don't know if it was like a whole theater thing. And then another person walks up. Mind you, this guy's in a wheelchair, the guy that works there. And the lady said, well, this place is closing down in, a month or two anyway. And this guy just like, kind of like a really fake laugh. Like, the place was gonna, it was an all right theater, but we waited in the theater, I think, for probably 15 minutes for the movie to actually come back on. It was an experience for sure. But yes, come to find out, it did shut down, I think 2 or 3 months later. So great experience though. Funny movie. I enjoyed watching it in theaters. Got a lot of really good laughs out of it, but that was definitely a very memorable theater experience. I don't even know if I'd call that it was a disaster, but it was a funny disaster.
No, that's the thing. I can't really think of anything real bad that's happened in movies, even when they stop like that. I mean, and you know how much I was laughing at that movie. I think that movie's hilarious.
Have you ever walked out of a movie at all?
No, I should have walked out of Bruno. Do you remember that movie?
I watched that one too.
Oh my
I should have
gosh.
walked out of that.
I should have walked out of that. You know what's funny is that you remember Caleb Cox? His mom took us to that movie.
Oh man, so she had to sit through it too.
Sit through that too, yeah, because
Wow.
Ian Booker and his brother were like, "Oh yeah, we gotta go watch this movie." I never heard of it at all. That was going to be on the movie I was going to talk about. So never heard anything about it. Saw Borat. Borat was stupid, but it wasn't like what this was going to be.
Yeah.
First thing, as soon as you remember how that movie started, Brad?
I think so. Yeah.
Where
just wanted to stand and walk away.
Not going to go up in depth, but as soon as that movie started, and I saw what I saw, I just wanted to get up and walk out. I was like, "This is the worst $7 I think I'm ever going to spend." Like, it was so terrible, so terrible. Like, I don't really care to see this. Don't really want to see this. I had to sit through that whole. And I think it was like a 2-hour movie too. It was stupid, and had no storyline. Yeah. It was terrible. It was just a whole bunch of just idiotic stuff. And I'm like, why did I drive? Why did I get in a car all the way here to watch this stupid movie? It was so bad.
No, it's not a very good movie. And everybody thought it was going to be good because it was right after Borat. I mean, it's the same guy who did Borat, so everybody thought it was going to be another movie.
Borat was even terrible.
Brad, did you have any other movies you want to talk about as far as your disasters go, or?
I don't think so. Are you thinking of one that I should be thinking of one?
Okay, so I've got a few here. So growing up, I don't know why I thought this was such a good idea, but we would always go watch these spin-off movies. So if you guys remember like the movie 43 and like the Dragonfly. So like they were like Dragonfly was like a Spider-Man spin-off, and movie 43 was like it was so many different like just combinations of movies. And I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to go see these in theaters, but those movies like they were so dumb. They weren't funny, but I decided to go see them anyway. So those kind of like spin-off movies, bad idea. But the one I was thinking of that we were in theaters together, I'm pretty sure we were, is when we were watching Godzilla, the first Godzilla in theaters, and the lights went out again. The whole thing went off. So I don't know if that's just like a local thing. Like those of you that are listening, do you guys ever go to theaters and the lights just go out? Because we had to exit the theater.
The alarm went off, didn't it?
The alarm, the lights went off, and like the alarm started going off. We had to exit the theater, so everybody had to pile out and then pile back in. That was a terrible experience. But one movie that really sticks out to me, and I will never forget this, is I went to go watch Sausage Party in theaters. And
no, I think that movie is funny.
Movie's funny. It's funny.
Really? You should watch it.
I've never watched it.
You should watch
it. Not going into details on this, but there was an old couple sitting 3 seats down.
Why were they watching that movie?
I don't know, but for those of you that have seen it, you know what I'm getting at here. The ending, final scene of the movie comes up, and I'm sitting there with my eyes open, mouth open, not knowing what to think. The older couple gets up. They've had enough. I get this pit in my stomach. I feel like I should get up and leave. But that was definitely probably one of my worst cinematic experiences.
It's one of those movies.
To get up and get out of there.
It's one of those movies. Yeah, it's one of those movies where you're like, okay, do I turn the TV off? Do I turn this movie off? And you're like, it's gonna end soon. Yeah, and then it just keeps going and and you're like,
it's a train wreck. You can't look away. It's just like, what? What were they thinking?
I think I saw Sausage Party in theaters too.
Yeah. It was an okay movie up to that point. I mean, I was kind of like, okay, it's almost over.
I laughed until the very end. The very end was terrible.
That was definitely probably
the very end was a little too much.
Yeah, that was probably my worst cinematic experience. So, any final cinematic experiences we want to talk about?
I'm not gonna I didn't see this one in theaters, but just a movie that I was like thinking was going to be pretty good and ended up being just really bad because I really liked the first one was Son of the Mask.
I seen that one as well, not in theaters, but yeah,
I thought that was so bad. I thought the animation was absolutely terrible.
And Jamie Kennedy, right?
I thought it was that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Jamie Kennedy.
I thought the Mask was so good. Storyline was really good. I thought just I think pretty much any Jim Carrey movie is really good.
Oh yeah,
but that movie was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Not great. But well, we've got 2 segments to hit on before we wrap things up. But first, we're gonna hear a quick word from our friends over at Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Choose your flavor and enjoy some of the best seeds on the market. Smackin' goes above and beyond to make sure you have the perfect seed every single time. Enjoy their wide selection that they have to offer. Not sure what seeds to buy? Grab a variety pack and use code AVERAGE or scan our QR code for 10% off. All right, we're back here, and now we are on to Blockbuster Buzz. So all these movies, I think this is a great summer for movies. I mean, call me crazy, but I can't remember the next time we had a lineup of movies like this coming out in the same year. Obviously, COVID, a few years back, that put a big hit on the theaters. In recent years, I feel like the theater is kind of becoming a thing again. Honestly, and Brad, maybe you can touch on this a little bit because you watch a lot of movies. During that whole COVID time, everybody was just watching movies on like HBO Max and like not going to the theaters. Even when the theaters opened back up, people were just watching movies at home.
Yeah, movies were just, a lot of movies just ended up going straight to home. Like you mentioned HBO Max, well, they made a deal with WB. WB owns, they're all together, but so they took all the WB movies in 2021, and the same day they went to theaters, they went directly to HBO Max. So you didn't even have to, there was no week or days or months. It was same day release on HBO Max and in the theaters. So like movies like one of the Godzilla movies was that way.
King Kong
Dune.
Which Kong and Godzilla, we watched it at your house. Like,
yeah.
I remember that was out in theaters, and oh yeah, I can watch it at home. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was big. During that same time, you had like Justice. I don't know if it would have went to theaters, but Justice League, the Snyder Cut, it came out.
Oh yeah,
So you had, and then other movies. If they were in theaters, they were just there for maybe a month, if that, and then they went straight to home video or streaming.
What a crazy time! What a crazy time that was. So, movie releases for 2025 this summer, guys. There is a lot of really good movies coming this summer. We have a list here. We are going to go through the list. We'll touch on each of these a little bit, and then we're going to see if you guys are in or out on some of these movies. So the first one, and it's coming out July 2nd, is Jurassic World Rebirth. And I know me personally, I am beyond excited for this movie to come out.
All right,
yeah.
I guess I'll talk first. That was a little bit awkward.
Oh no, my screen went black again.
So,
I was like,
so I never really was a huge fan of Jurassic Park. I don't know. Leo really doesn't seem too excited about it. I think some of these movies just going to be on if he really wants to see them or not. I'm not a huge movie theater person. Don't really go to a whole lot of them. Been to more movie theaters now that Leo is with us, so that's pretty much what my movies are going to consist of is kids movies and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan. That's probably one that I'd probably pass on.
Really? Okay, Brad.
Yeah, I would think it'd be great in the movie theater to watch it. It looks like it's going to be a lot scarier than the other ones. I rewatched all the Jurassic Parks a few years ago when the last one came out, and I enjoyed them a lot. I liked them a lot better than the first few times I saw them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of a reboot, isn't it? So they're kind of rebooting it.
Yeah.
Soft reboot.
Yeah. Me personally, being just a huge Jurassic Park fan and being a huge fan of the originals, I was not a fan of the Jurassic Worlds that came out. Out of all the Jurassic Worlds, the first Jurassic World was probably the best, and then they just continued to go downhill after that. Was not a fan of Dominion at all. I think it was kind of a train wreck, and I feel like when the reviews came back on Dominion, I feel like they felt like we can't end the franchise with this kind of movie. So I feel like you said, a soft reboot, and they're going in a completely different direction. Everybody's like, oh yeah, they go to the island, they get stuck on the island. Well, now they're seeing all these dinosaurs that are basically mutated, the dinosaurs that didn't make it to the original park. So now, they just left them there. So you've got, dinosaurs that maybe didn't develop the right way, just like anything else, you're trying to do all this stuff. It's not going to be right the first time. You think they nailed the T-Rex right the very first time they tried to make it? Doubt it. Trial and error. And that's what all these dinosaurs kind of are, is trial and error dinosaurs. So it's a new approach to the movie, and I really like it. You've got, Scarlett Johansson, the Blade guy, can't remember his name. Brad, you probably know.
Mahershala
Ali.
I'm saying it wrong. Yeah,
Ali, and then the weird scientist guy as well. And I think he might have some relation to Alan Grant. I that's a rumor that I heard. I don't know the full details on that, but yeah, I can honestly say out of all the summer movies, this is the one that I am most excited to see. Superman is the next one, release of July 11th. So really, July is packed full of just really good movies. Superman. Who's excited to see Superman?
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
I don't think I am. I don't know if it's going to compare to the older Supermans. Obviously, Henry Cavalier, is how you say his last name? Or am I saying it wrong?
Yep.
Yeah. I think he did a great job. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how good this one is when it comes out. But Brad, you may have studied a little bit more on it. So this is a James Gunn movie. I know you're a big James Gunn guy, aren't you?
I'm a big James Gunn guy, and that's the selling point for me. Yeah, I actually didn't mind the Zack Snyder Superman.
Yeah.
The rest of those movies he did, I wasn't a huge fan of. But so James Gunn, he's of course a selling point. You had Guardians of the Galaxy. He did Suicide Squad about 4 years ago. He redid that one, and that was really good. So yeah, with him involved, it's hard to think it won't be good at worst. It may not be great, but and he's going to be in charge of all the DC movies coming out. So from now on, so it's going to start with this one. So, and I just watched a trailer for it a few hours ago, and I mean, it's hard to judge. Every trailer made is a good trailers are really good. Like even for bad movies, trailers are really well made.
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
So, and it looked great. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this one.
Casey, have you seen much on that movie at all?
Not really a whole lot. It may be one of those movies that Leo stumbles across and wants to see. I'm not really sure. He's not really a big Superman guy. And I'm not big into DC or Marvel movies in general.
Yeah.
I'm not really huge into that. Never really have been huge into them. Getting a little more into them now. But yeah, just another one that just really doesn't super intrigue me a whole lot. But I think it'd be a movie that I would maybe give a shot.
Okay, and then we've got another Marvel movie, another great movie coming out in July, and that is Fantastic Four: First Steps. This could either make or break whatever. What is this? They go by what is it, stages, Brad, or whatever, as far as the Marvel movies go, or however they come out.
It's saga. So what are they in Are they in the multiverse saga right now?
Yeah. So you had all the
Infinity Stone saga.
Yep. So you've got
they go by
First
phases
Steps now.
Too.
Phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Yep, correct. So we're probably in Phase 6 right now. So First Steps. I kind of like the vibe. I'm getting from the First Steps. I was not a fan of the last Fantastic Four that came out with Miles. I love Miles Teller. Wasn't a fan of that one. I was a fan, obviously, of the ones with Chris Evans. It was Chris Evans and what's her name? What's her name? The girl.
Yeah, I'll think of it here in a minute.
Yeah, but I was a fan of that one. Loved it. First and second one. A lot of people don't really like them, but I was a fan of those. And I'm kind of getting similar vibes to that. Obviously, I think this one's based in it looks like it's based in I don't know what the time frame
60s.
is on that one, but 60s. Yeah, that's what it looked like. So I'm excited. I think July is going to be a really good month for movies. So that's one I'm excited to go see. Jessica Biel. Is that it?
Yeah.
Jessica Biel.
I don't think.
Is it not? It's going to drive me insane.
No, is she the one that's in Chuck and Larry? Jessica Alba.
She might be.
Jessica Alba.
Alba. There we go.
That's who it is.
Yeah. But yeah, First Steps. I know, Casey, you said you're not a huge fan of the Marvel movies. I don't know if you've seen the previous Fantastic Four at all.
No, I'm not. Okay, so if we're going Marvel's, Fantastic Four is probably going to be one of the last things I see. Just really not into that. If I'm going to watch Marvel movies, I'm going to watch the I'm gonna watch some more of the actioned like more of the actioned like I don't know like
there's a lot. I mean, I think all the Marvel
like
movies
the
are just
Hulk
packed
and
full.
stuff like that. Like I'm watching that. I'm not gonna watch. That just doesn't really. Nah. Nah. No thanks.
All right, Brad. What about?
It's just too saturated now. All the Marvel stuff because you have
Yeah.
all these TV
Yeah.
shows. They got a new TV show every month on Disney Plus, and then they're cutting back some on the movies. But then you had 4 or 5 movies a year. I mean, back when they started this, when Iron Man came out back in 2008, I mean, you just had a movie, maybe 2 a year.
Yeah.
And then it gradually got up to about 3.
Yeah, it
but,
seems like a lot to me.
So it was more an event. Now it's just kind of everything runs together. It's the same, and you can't keep up with everything. But this one fascinating. It's a good cast. It's a throwback movie, with it being set in the '60s, so it might be interesting. I mean, I think they're bound to have a big year in movies. I don't know what else is if they're putting out another movie later on this year, like in November. I know they had Thunderbolts.
Well, I know the Thunderbolts just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that, but I heard it was pretty good. I mean, it's a lot better than the recent Marvel movies, what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how good it's going to be. Obviously, like you said, they are becoming a little bit more saturated. So, I don't know. Time is going to tell. The last few that came out have kind of been stinkers. The one that I really enjoyed was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Really liked that movie, but it's always a wait and see. I've heard good things about Thunderbolts, but I haven't seen it, so we'll wait and see when they come out. All right, we're gonna hit on a couple more here. Brad, I know you've got a strong opinion on this one. This is How to Train Your Dragon, the live action one that comes out June 13th. So we're kind of going backwards a little bit here, but June 13th is the live action How to Train Your Dragon. Are you excited? Not excited.
No, I'm not excited. When I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was AI. I thought the first trailer looked bad, like the teaser trailer anyway. This was a few months ago. I think it's stupid. I think it's a bad idea. They shouldn't make it. Like in baseball, football, you got to wait. Like great players, you got to wait 5 years to get in the Hall of Fame in pro sports. I think with movies, if you've got a really good movie, you should have to wait like 30, probably 40 years to even think about remaking it. And I don't like that they're making all these live action movies. How to Train Your Dragon only came out 15 years ago.
Yeah,
in 2010.
Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, The Lion King. I mean, The Lion King, like all these movies. I mean, The Lion King though, Mufasa, like those were good, but no, I definitely agree with that. I don't feel like it's a need. I mean, are you running out of ideas to make for movies? But am I going to watch it? Probably.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be intrigued to see how good it is. Casey, have you seen anything on the new How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, and then when Brad started talking about AI, I really started looking at this, and I was kind of watching through the trailer while you guys were talking, and it's definitely too fake for me.
I mean, that's live action for you.
It's definitely. I think to me it's very vanilla. I'm not really big into that stuff anyways. But it just kind of gives me like World of Warcraft vibe, and I'm not really digging that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no.
All right. Last one here, and this one I kind of am excited for to an extent, is just because I watched the first one for the very first time probably about 2 months ago, and it's I Know What You Did Last Summer. So another reboot or remake, and I do believe that Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are coming back for this movie. I don't know how much more of the original cast are coming back, but I do know that those two are in it. I'm looking here.
Madeline Klein's
1998 film, so we're looking almost 30 years since since the last one came out. But I'm personally looking forward to this one. I don't know if they're going to bring more of the fear into it. And the last one, I don't know, Brad, have you seen the first one or no?
No, I haven't seen the first one.
They left the door wide open.
They made a few of them, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't think so. I'm not sure. At least I know. I mean, this is the only one that I've seen, but they left the door wide open for a sequel to the original. So it's kind of cool how they're bringing this back. And I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's kind of like a sequel to the last one. Kind of like all the events that happened in 1998 are now happening again, and that's when the old characters come back and like, oh, this has happened in our town before. Now it is a little cheesy, kind of. Obviously, those 1998 horror movies that has some of your typical, I don't know what you would call them, Prince Charmings in them. Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't think he's a great actor. I really don't, but
it came out. That movie came out in 98, didn't it? This movie?
Yep, the original.
The original did.
They're doing a yep. So it's been almost 30 years, but yeah, I'm excited to see it. I don't know what direction they're going to take with it.
Some good actresses in it.
Yeah, obviously you've got Scary Movie that has made fun of all like that movie. The original, I think the original Scary Movie made fun of.
Scream.
I know what you did last summer.
Scream 7's coming out in 26.
Yeah, I was going to say Scream just did the same thing a few years back now, where they took all the original cast members and brought them back and kind of rebooted the whole thing, and it worked really well. So that's probably why they're doing it with this movie. But
yeah. All right. Well, Brad, is there any other movies? Obviously, you're the moviegoer. Is there any movies that we didn't hit on that you were excited to see either this summer or this year?
No, I don't think there's a lot. We were talking about Avatar earlier. There's supposed to be if it doesn't get pushed back, there's supposed to be another Avatar movie come out at the end of the year, like in December, the third one. So that one, look forward to that. As far as summer goes, I mean, there's not a whole lot comes to mind. I just saw a commercial for that ballerina movie, the John Wick. It's like a John Wick spinoff.
Yes.
But the problem I had was the Ana de Armas, she's the lead in it. She's the ballerina character. But John Wick, Keanu Reeves is in the trailer. She's in it for like 2 seconds, and it's Keanu Reeves the whole trailer. So it's supposed to be separate from
another John Wick movie.
It's just going to be another John Wick movie from the trailer. So, but I know why they have to do that. They have to establish where it's from. But
it's funny you should bring that up. That literally you were talking about that. It reminds me of we were talking about Marvel movies. Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse. It's a Doctor Strange movie, but you see Scarlet Witch almost the whole entire movie. It's more of a a Scarlet Witch or movie like that. So I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. I love John Wick's movie. I haven't seen the last one yet. I really need to watch it. But so we got all these streaming services for. All right, Brad. It's the time that you have been waiting for. You get to guess the release year and the release day of 5 movies that I've picked. Now, if I made this too easy on you, I do apologize, and it's not an insult. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence by picking movies that are easy, because I didn't think. I mean, you asked these to me. I'm not getting them right. So I have the movie. You can tell me the year they came out, and if you can get down to the day, that's great. I'll give you like a 5-way leeway each way, 5 days each way, because these are the United States movie theater releases. So if they're a little off compared to what you've maybe seen or I take. I'm sure you know better than Wikipedia does. So we're gonna go ahead and start off. We've got an animated movie, a comedy, a sci-fi, an action, and a thriller. So your first one is going to be, I think this is going to be a nice little, we're setting the ball up on the tee. It's going to be pretty easy for you. We're going to go Shrek 2. You already said Shrek 2, so Shrek 2.
May 19th, 2004.
Okay. So, and I had May 17th on there. So like I said, leeway either way. That's probably just a movie theater thing. I'm sure you know better. I'm sure you were sitting in theaters when that movie came out.
Yeah, we went. I was in 8th grade. We went on 8th grade field trip to Rushville Movie Theater and watched it. And Mr. V was laughing the entire time, just dying watching that movie.
His laugh is contagious anyway.
Oh, it is contagious, yeah. Oh, my gosh. All right, so, May 19th, I had May 17th. Like I said, I'm going to give you that every single time.
I could be a couple days off. I
mean, like I said, you're getting it within 2 days. That's insane. All right, so the next one here, we've actually got the comedy, and that is Old School. Old School.
Let's go February 12th, 2003.
February 13th. Wow. February 13th, 2003. So that is that's crazy. That's really good. And like I said, this is off Wikipedia, and Brad might be right. Brad might be more right than Wikipedia is. So that's good. All right. Number 3, sci-fi movie here, The Matrix.
Boy, let's go March. Let's go March 18th, 1999.
March 31st. The fact that you're getting the month right honestly just blows me away. Like, I'm sitting here in awe that you're even getting the month right, because I love The Matrix and I would not have got that right. So March 31st, 1999. So far, you have not missed a month. Yeah, the months you're hitting on, the years you're hitting on, and the days are a couple days off. Like,
what you don't know is
what you don't know
is right behind Brad, right behind the camera, is a whole list of just movies.
Yeah, it's up on the wall. It's always looking up. Man, let's see.
He's got a whiteboard behind him. All right, these are the movies that he's probably going to ask. You know?
Yeah.
Here's every movie from 1995 to 2025.
No, I see. Yeah. Now that's we're getting into the action movie here. I'm gonna throw him off a little bit. We're gonna go the original Die Hard movie, first Die Hard.
Well, that's probably easy for him.
No, it's pretty tough. Let's go. I don't know about the year, or I don't know. Well, let's try November 12th, 1988.
July 20th, 1988. So I finally got him on one of them. July 20th, 1988.
Too bad you should have went that year.
I'm going to get a Snapchat later, and he's going to have it screenshotted of the correct date. And he's like, hey, maybe you should do your research a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right. And your last one here, I think you should get this one, is a thriller, and it is going to be Split. We just talked about James McAvoy.
Split. Yeah, this is a really good movie, and he's really good in it.
Yeah.
Boy. This is tough. Let's try. I'm afraid I'm gonna be a year off, but let's try January 19th. Oh boy, let's. I'm gonna go 2016.
January 20th, 2017. So the only one you did not get the year on.
I was getting ready to say. I was gonna say 17. I switched last second.
I'm more impressed that you're getting almost down to the day. I do not understand how. I mean, shoot, I'm sure January 19th was probably like a different release date in a different country. So, I mean, that is insane. Oh my goodness. I mean, if you think about this though, you're 4 for 5. You're 4 for 5 on years. I'm going to give you what, 3 for 5 on. No, you're 5 for 5. No, 4 for 5 on months, and then days. Give or take 3 to 4 to 5. That's crazy. I mean, that's a gift. I don't know if you've ever thought about turning this into a career, but you could definitely. I don't know if anybody pays for someone that just guesses.
I don't think you can.
Guesses these, but oh my goodness, that's awesome though. I don't know. So really quick, we're kind of wrapping up a little bit here. Where did you? I mean, how do you have this kind of knowledge packed away of some of these movies? Like when they were released. Like how does this stick with you?
I just see posters and I see dates, and I remember a lot of birthdays. I know. All the people. I've been out of high school for 17 years now, and I still remember pretty much all the birthdays of my classmates. I mean, so I remember birthdays, and it just kind of translated to seeing.
He probably knows your birthday.
Movie posters.
All right, yeah. What's my birthday, Brad?
Yours is September 18th.
He's right. Yeah.
And Casey's, I can't remember if yours is the 7th or the 8th. That's what's throwing me off. Of August.
God, it's the 8th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. How do you?
That's
know
crazy.
That's
crazy. He was also your social security number. I go, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's great.
I still get stumbled. I still get stumbled a little bit with Courtney's birthday.
Yeah.
I know
that's
when
why.
That one is.
That's why if you guys can see here, I get stumbled with dates, all the dates, kids' birthdays on my arms. We'll never forget them. Anniversaries on the ribs. We'll never forget it. It's the smartest thing you can do.
All right, when's your birthday? When's my birthday?
Tell you what, it helps out a lot when you're at the pharmacy and they're like, birth date? And I'm like, 1 second. Give them the date. I've done it twice. I'm not afraid to admit it. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's movie podcast. Brad, thanks once again for coming on here. This wouldn't be the same without you being on here, talking about these movies, giving your insight. So we appreciate it. But those of you tuning in, those of you watching, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.